My name is Xande Ribeiro. I'm a black belt, 6th degree in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I'm a Hall of Fame in Jiu-Jitsu and grappling world. I'm a 7-time world champion. And I'm a coffee snobby, I would say right now. Well, first I gotta say just how I got into coffee. You know, growing up in Brazil, I never really liked coffee as a young child. They always had that idea of strong coffee, which now I found out is just a bunch of leaves and not beans. I didn't really drink coffee, but I like chocolate milk, right? That's every kid. And one day I tried a mocha. So that's how the coffee kind of taste came into me. I always did the mocha power and stuff like that. And I was never really like a plain coffee person. I always thought that coffee did espressos like everyone else. And then one beautiful day, I was in Playa now, and Gordo from here, Metro, just say, hey, I heard you like coffee. I'm like, yeah, dude. I'm like, I don't think you know what coffee is. I'm like, why? So I was introduced to Sebastian, and he came to me and told the whole story, and that's how my connoisseurness started with coffee, you know. And then the first coffee I tried was a Geisha Natural, and I think just the story behind it was so beautiful. And then I remember when he kept saying those things, he started to teach me how to brew it and what to look for in the coffee. And yeah, I fell in love since then, you know. And I may not understand a lot of flavors in my mouth, but I do understand when a coffee is bad. About a year and a half ago. And of course I started to like promote the coffee and stuff, and interesting enough, a lot of people start to show up, and I think it's just like an algorithm, and then we start to see a lot of stories behind the coffee. I'm very interested in go to Ethiopia and know even more. And interesting enough, I have a lot of people now that they send me coffees for me to try, but definitely the Panamanian coffee will forever be my favorite. To get Panamanian coffee, it's not easy, right? Because I think, well, like, of course, Sebastian always sends me to the good coffee places that I try, but it's easy. PanamaCoffeeCompany.com, and you go there and get yours, you know. Every time I miss it, I call, I order, or I fly to Panama and get from here. I think the world now is getting more in tune with coffee, and I think, I believe which is a good thing, because people are getting more aware of the truth behind coffee. You know, if we go back to the story, like, oh yeah, we have all this coffee, so they promote coffee in a way that it isn't the right way to do it. And I think the Panamanian culture about coffee, they're trying to make it where you should consume the right way, you know. And I think we'll be getting a little harder to get coffee, maybe because maybe the demand will be bigger. But I think if we take care of our forests and our nature, I think we can still have good coffee forever. Jiu-jitsu and coffee, for me, the first thing that always gets me in mind is the intention, right? Is the ritual. Like for me, I just don't go and I push a button and have a coffee. I really appreciate the warm-up, you know, getting the beans. I open my drawer and I say, okay, where's my flavor today? It's earthy, it's floral, it's fruity, you know. So there's this whole concept, like same as martial arts. There's a whole process and a respect within the mat, the teachers, and the people around you. And that's what I bring to basically everything I do in life. You know, if I'm having a matcha, if I'm having a coffee, if I'm going out with my friends, it becomes more of a ceremony, you know? So, and that's what I try to bring, you know? And also having good quality on your body. You know, it's not easy to go and drink a coffee that's gonna make your mouth dry, or now you have a headache. And you know, you gotta always find the good food as well, you know, like whatever you eat is what you become. And I think maybe I'll become a little caffeine settler right now, but yeah, for me, it's the ceremony, is when I grab the beans, I smell the beans, I eat the beans, and I grind them, and I try to find, and I do the whole ceremony. I wait until it's a proper time for me to sit down and be present, you know. So also, I think in Jiu-Jitsu, they think about state of flow as movement. For me, state of flow is a presence. And yeah, I just sit down, read my book, maybe do a little internet content, but yeah, for me it's about the whole, everything that involved, you know. Maybe I have a friend at home, I say, let me make you coffee. It's not just like picking, brewing, and push a button. It's giving some love to the beans. Well, I do have my routines. I always try to have coffee. So I basically try not to have coffee that not my coffee, for example. You know, in the beginning, I was very excited. I drank a lot of coffee during the day. That there's a moment that like it goes away, right? So usually I wake up and I try to of course, I don't like to like, oh, I feel tired, I have coffee, right? I like to wake up and let my body wake up, and I take my time, go read something, you know, drink some water, and I go through that process first. And once I'm like awake and I don't need coffee, that's when I start. Usually involves a book, maybe spend a little bit of time with my daughter, could be maybe sit in the computer. So I usually have one coffee in the morning when I can. Of course, when I'm disciplined enough to keep the little 60 minutes after I wake up. Because our body be like, it's funny because I think my body makes me tired, so I drink more coffee. So usually I have one like in the end of the morning, right before class, and I have another one in the afternoon. And like I said, I always try to like, it's my moment where I pause and I kind of enjoy the senses, you know, the smell, the tongue. Usually if I have a friend, I really like to offer my friends good coffee. And some of them, they're a little in that old traumatic way, so like they like coffees that burn. Nah, not for me. Unless, not for me. I'll withstand the pressure of not having coffee, but I will not put a bad coffee in my mouth. Sorry, Panama Coffee Company got me so spoiled. There's nothing I can do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.